Hi there, welcome to AutonomyAI. We've built the operating system that allows product managers, designers, product teams in general to go all the way from intent or idea to a production ready pull request and own feature delivery in their business. We work explicitly with mid-market and enterprise teams with complex existing brownfield code bases where historically product managers and designers were not able to own and ship features. What you're seeing on the screen here, this is the launching off point for PM. I can go ahead, give it long form text, a PRD, shot, Claude design zip file, Figma, a KPI that I want to improve in the product, or even use our discovery mode that ties into over 30 different sources of product signals to uncover product gaps and work directly on those. Let's start with an example. I'm going to go ahead and give it a series of text here. Let's say I'm a PM and I want to build a performance dashboard that shows how usage is happening in the product and scores some of that usage, connects it to ROI and so forth. Several modes I can start with. First, automatic mode is going to interpret the amount of detail in my request. If there's additional clarifying questions, it's going to go ahead and ask me, the PM, to answer those. Planning mode, if you were to imagine sitting down in a room with an engineer that knows your code base through and through, that's what planning mode is. Or I can jump directly to build mode. Again, the unique thing about AutonomyAI that differentiates us is how we are able to work and directly within the requirements of an enterprise existing code base. We don't build 0 to 1. We take PMs and designers and allow them to build on top of existing complex systems. Let's go and have the agent get started on this request. And while the agent is building this out for me, let's go ahead and look under the hood a little bit. So firstly, what the agent does, we connect directly to your repositories, whether it's GitHub, Bitbucket, GitLab, ADO, and so forth. From there, the agent is going to look and model all of the various themes of standards that exist across the code base, your design system, your component library, all of the various CSS standards, asset standards, hooks, events, how APIs are being used, compile all of that and maintain this moving forward. Every time there's a commit in your code base that changes, the agent maintains this going forward so that the guardrails that control what PMs and designers are able to do in the product and the type of code and pull requests that they're able to submit is always up to date. Next, the agent also models all of your existing components, what it is unique to AutonomyAI by way of how we're able to understand a code base, build the harness around the structures and the logic of how the product is built and functions today. The agent will always reuse components wherever possible before building and inventing a new component. That's required to produce good quality code in an enterprise environment. And that is one of the areas where other tools, such as simply use a PM using Claude Code or vibe coding tools like Lovable or Replit, generally fail and is a core requirement to really produce production-ready work. We model the components. If you use Storybook, for instance, as a component library, we will always pull and push from Storybook and so forth. Now let's go ahead and also look at a concept we have of our agent knowledge hub. So as the agents work across your code base, there's multiple agents behind the scenes, also sub-agents that are deployed to do very granular work. As they work with the code base and identify inputs from users that should be maintained going forward, or perhaps engineers that left comments on pull requests with moments and details that should be applied to future requests to avoid making the same mistake over time, that applies to the shared memory across the agents. It's the self-improving mechanism that exists within AutonomyAI so that the agent works as a constantly learning and evolving and improving agent across your code base. Those are the shared learnings. There's also agent notes that function in a similar manner in order to consistently improve the agent's understanding of your code base. All of this is work that's done autonomously and gets better over time. Let's go ahead and jump back into our task that we're working on and see where we're at. Looks like we can see that the agent is going through and executing many steps in terms of how this request correlates back to the systems that already exist, our code base, what it needs to reuse, what standards that it needs to adhere to, and so forth. So after working for a while, now that the agent has finished its work, I can go ahead and see the result of the first pass that the agent took to build this out for me. On the right-hand side, I can see the rendering of this new screen that it built in order to monitor user performance. On the left-hand side, I can see my initial request. I can see some of the core visualizations and the way in which the agent thought about the request. If I want to go much deeper into what the agent built, I can open up the task spec doc and look at all of the files that it kept, changed, what it implemented, what it built from scratch, and so forth. It's quite a technical document that is both applicable for PMs and engineers that go and then approve the PR. Let's go back into the message thread here. If there are additional changes that I want now the agent to go ahead and make, I can just ask and request. I can give it additional visual references, or I can use the recommended next steps that you see on the left-hand side, whether that's adding in real API data or improving the actual UI UX based on these suggestions. I can now go ahead and also preview this build across various formats, whether it's mobile, tablet, desktop views. If I want to make fine-tuned changes, especially relevant for product design roles, I can use our handy design mode, which allows me to select a container on the screen and go and edit the padding, spacing, margins, hex codes across this entire build. Imagine the Figma set of tools built directly into your code base. Rather than having to prompt the agent, I can actually fine-tune the code that is being generated. Remember that everything that we're building here, this is now written on a separate branch on the code base. It's real production code written in accordance to my enterprise team's standards rather than a simple HTML prototype. That is the core difference between what you're seeing here and the output of other tools on the market that are commonly used by product managers. One more very interesting aspect of the platform, let's talk about live preview mode. This allows a product manager to not only see this rendering of a specific feature or screen or UI UX, it is the ability to connect to a QA environment, staging environment. We will load that environment in the application and actually allow a product manager to experience the change or new feature that they're building in the entire user workflow that exists currently within your product. It's a great way to validate an idea, pressure test concepts before going and opening pull requests for developers. Every single time a change is made with the agent to this task, it will generate a new version. There will be new variants created as well based on maybe error states, loading states, in order to really understand all of the different permutations, how a certain new UI UX can function. These are great ways in order to prove out an idea, create 3 different versions of a new feature, sit down with a customer, get feedback on the concept, iterate before going and opening pull requests. That's most of the product demo here for today. If you'd like to see this in action with more examples, if you'd like to discuss how this can work with your enterprise code base, schedule time with us. We'll get into it. This is really a powerful platform in order to allow product teams and design teams to own feature delivery, increase roadmap capacity, improve product velocity across their business, and truly take great products to the market faster.